Okay, there was some things going on there, and we're going to break them down one piece at a time. We had the right hand, everything that was going into that. We had the left hand, and some of you may not have recognized the chords I was playing, assuming you know some chords. And if you don't know any chords, we're going to start kind of in the middle, kind of early intermediate, I guess you might say, and just kind of jump around a little bit and do some chapters, if you will, on some specific stuff. I'll play something, I'll break it down in quite a bit of detail, I hope, including music theory. You know, what makes music work the way it does, and it's really not that hard to learn. So anyway, I'm just going to say a few words about the chords I was using. If you do know chords, and I said play a D chord, you'd probably play that. And you'd be right. That's one inversion of a D chord, but it turns out there's 3 different inversions. And that kind of goes into music theory a little bit, like what the heck is an inversion. And in order to understand what inversions are, we have to understand how chords are put together. And I'm going to demonstrate that on a keyboard because it's so clear on a keyboard, especially in the key of C. And then we can transfer that knowledge and that frame of reference to the guitar, which won't be a huge leap, but hey, it doesn't hurt to know about keyboards too, because if you're like me, you're going to want to collect a number of instruments, use them all in recordings and stuff. So this is going to be fun. So that's a D. Now, if you're used to playing a D, you're probably going, how come the 6th string, he's playing that and it sounds okay? Well, that's because I tuned it down. It's an altered tuning. Whereas that would normally be an E, I tuned it down to a D so that you have the full-on D sound, which is like tremendous if you don't know about that. And it's not cheating. It's it's really not. Altered guitar tunings are something that is pretty common if you're into common stuff. So anyway, D has always had this thing where the bass string is way up here, but now it's down here, so that's pretty cool. So I tuned the E down to a D, and I'll demonstrate that in more detail, but this isn't really a lesson. I'm having a lucid dream here. So what would the next D up the neck look like? Well, I'll be danged. It sounds almost exactly the same, except it's got a higher note there. And that's, for what it's worth, that's a first inversion, whereas this one down here is a, it's either a second or a third inversion. I can't remember. But so here's what I did. I played. Now that's a G chord, but only 3 notes. The 3 highest notes on the guitar are a G chord. But you can play a consistent bass. The lowest 3 strings, you can play those, and you can play different chords on the higher strings, and it still sounds really good. I think that's called a pedal tone, maybe in music theory, but we try not to drop too much terminology around here. So that would be a G. I'm going to tell you how and why. And that's an A. So you have your 3 chords, your 1, 4, 5. I'll explain that. Then during the second part, I went like this. So this is an F chord, okay? It's granted it's a partial F chord, but it's got all three of the notes that an F note requires to be a what we call a triad, where the three different tones in a given chord need to be present for it to be a triad. And this is a G, and then back to the D, D there, D there. So we have F, G, D, D, and we played a G down here. Hear how those have the same sound, basically? And then the F we played here. It's kind of like Neil Young uses drop tunings a lot. He often drops the D string like we did, double D dropped, it's called, I think, or just Neil tuning, I don't know. But then he'll drop the high E, the highest string on the guitar, he'll drop that down to a D as well. For songs like Cortez the Killer and, what's the name of that one? I forgot. So anyway, I think I've filmed enough now to get an idea, move things along. So catch you later. Hope you enjoyed yourself.